Words be not my strong suit today. Anyways. Alright, so this time we're looking at the Bose Truly Wireless Soundsport Free. And we're going to be reviewing these just because I'm continuing down this train of the truly wireless, portion of my channel. I promise my channel's not going to be nothing but like mainstream consumer audio or anything like that. But listen, I happen to be in the market for one of these things. And I figured, screw it, if I'm getting them in and I'm listening to them and I'm evaluating them, I may as well put the review on the channel and, have it be useful for anybody that needs it. So you're welcome if you happen to be interested. If not, don't worry, there's plenty of audiophile stuff coming soon. For example, I have the Stax L300 in for review and possibly to keep, as well as its 252S ear speaker energizer unit. So we're looking at the SRS 3100 unit with both the ear speaker and the energizer itself. So let's start off with the Bose. As far as the contents goes, you have the earphones themselves. If you open it up, by the way, you need to push this button. There, it lets you know it's about 60% battery. There, it tells you that it's on. Here are the two units themselves. It also comes with the manual with the instructions. It comes with the USB-A to micro USB cable. Complimentary snack. Thank you very much, Bose. I didn't realize I was hungry until I opened these up and I said, yum, a snack. And then it comes with the small, medium, and large wingtips. The medium come pre-installed in the unit, so good contents. I'm kind of disappointed with that micro USB cable because, come on, it's 2020. But in all fairness to the product, this did come out in 2016 originally. So it's an older Bluetooth product, man. Does that matter? We'll get to that. But yeah, it's an older product in comparison to the most other things that are out in the market currently. Now, the build quality on this is pretty decent. I'd say it's decent. Listen, it's matte plastic, but if you can see it from the screen right here, if you can see it on screen, the fingerprints are not terrible, but it's not fantastic either. It does attract a bit of a fingerprint, but it quickly disappears. And frankly, you're not using these for the looks anyway, especially the actual case itself, so that's not a big deal. Although the side where the logo is placed is plastic, as you can see here, like a glossy type of plastic. And sorry if it looks a little dirty, but I tried not to clean these just because I wanted to show what it looks like after about a week, 2 weeks worth of usage. And honestly, it looks way worse on screen. I would say it looks so much better with your eyes, as opposed to looking at this through a high quality S20 Plus camera. The outer rims of the earphones are rubberized to reduce impact when let's be honest, when you drop them, because you're gonna drop these at some point. It's natural. You're gonna drop them. The volume buttons and assistant are located on the outer rim of the headphones, and as you can see, they're sort of one with the rubber, and they're rubberized as well. The buttons are actually really difficult to press, and they do require a lot of force, which is not great for usability, if I'm going to be completely honest. But as time goes by, and because you're working out with these and this and that, they're gonna wear out, and ultimately they'll be easier to press. So I want to say this is great for durability, honestly. I think it's a great thing to do it like this, but initially don't expect to be using these very often and, going ahead and pressing that super often to change your track, your volume, this and that. Honestly, I just reach for my phone and it's perfectly fine. I have no issues doing that whatsoever. Now, as far as comfort goes, these things are better than most earphones out there. They are one of the best for sure. If I'm going to be completely honest, yeah, these are one of the most comfortable, truly wireless in-ear designs on the market. Not just because of how they feel, but because of the feeling that they create. Do they feel like they're going to fall out? Do they feel a little strange? Do they, protrude into your ear a little too much? And that kind of stuff. Now, this is one of the best for sure, but it's definitely not perfect, and that's mostly due to, well, its design. It's just the design. Listen. Because it protrudes far from your head, the majority of the weight lies on the outside, on this outer rim right here. And when you use it in workouts, well, I'll go ahead and leave that in the notes and observation section. Now, the wingtips themselves, as you can see here, they come in 3 different sizes, but the earbud and wing are attached as a single unit. So it's kind of a downside if I'm being honest. It's not that big a deal. You can get used to it, but look, in my particular case, I need a small earbud. A small earbud, or well, should I say a small ear tip, but a large wing. Just because these don't go really deep into my ears, especially on the right side. So I really need that, I have small ear canals, but I have, I guess, a large, portion of the ear where these go inside, I guess. So unfortunately, I have to stick to the large, even though this kind of just feels a little too bunched up initially. But after a few minutes, you get used to it and it's not a big deal. Because once again, the majority of the grip and what's holding it in place in your ear is the wing now, as opposed to the ear tip. So these are still very comfortable, and they are one of the most secure buds that I have ever tried. Now, as far as the tech inside goes, I tried to find the Bluetooth version online, but the closest I could find was an Amazon comment stating that they are Bluetooth 4.2. I believe that, honestly, just because these came out so long ago. But honestly, that really shouldn't be a concern. The biggest concern would be, how much range do I have? What is the signal strength? And, well, I guess the battery life as well, but also the sound quality. Ultimately, if all 3 of these factors are good, the Bluetooth version really doesn't matter. Except for the fact that 5.0 can let you have up to 2 units connected, and it's overall larger bandwidth and yada yada, but that's a whole other discussion for a whole other video. Anyways, the battery life on these, with a single charge, you're looking at 5 hours per unit. 5 hours in total on the units themselves. And then, with the case, you tack on an additional 10 hours, which leaves you with a total of 15 hours, putting all this together. Now, you can also get the Bose Connect app, or actually it's kind of required for the setup, but you can continue using it if you want to, and I kind of recommend it because, yes, they are required for the first time setup, but after that, you can track the location of the buds in case they get lost. So, last location where the GPS located these at, it'll let you know, and you can retrace your steps, go back there, and I guess just start looking with a flashlight or something. But at least you'll know more or less where you left it. They can also tell you your battery life left on these, and you can also see this from the Bluetooth menu of your phone, whether it's iOS or Android. And you can set a standby timer. Now, this one's actually very important because I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, when will I ever have these on and out of the case in an occasion where I'm not listening to them? That doesn't make sense. I know, but here's a fact. Here's a bit of an observation. When the case's battery dies, the buds will not automatically turn on or off. Because, like when you open the case and you remove these, they turn on automatically. Then you put them back in, they turn off automatically. But when the case's battery dies, they will not do that. To turn them on, you have to press any button on each bud. And then to turn them off, that depends on the standby timer. So if you set it for 20 minutes, then they're going to be on inside the case for 20 minutes until the standby timer kicks in and automatically turns them off or puts them to sleep.
You want to sleep? Okay, I put to sleep. Commando.
As far as the range on these go, I tested this out and I got 22 steps in total before I ended up hearing some sort of breakage in the signal. On the right side, you have the volume up, volume down, and play pause. And on the left side, you have the Bluetooth button for swapping in between sources. That can be pretty useful if you have multiple sources and they all have the app. So literally all you have to do, you just press it once and then it will say, disconnected from like Galaxy S20 Plus device. And then it'll say, connected to iPad Pro Plus Extra Gigantamax version 2. All right, now pairing the Bose truly wireless Soundsport is quite easy as well. In the instruction manual, it says you have to download the Bose app and then follow the instructions for how to do it, but I'm about to find out if we can't do this just using regular Bluetooth like this. Onto that, go ahead and open the case by pressing and holding this button and then just opening it up like that. Should appear down here under available devices. There it is, Bose Free Soundsport. And as you can see, it's already in pairing mode. It is flashing on both the left and right sides. Couldn't connect. Interesting. All right, so as it turns out, the setup process for the first time connecting the Bose truly wireless head to your phone, regarding of whether it's iOS or Android, is actually not so simple. Not that it's complicated, but you need to go ahead and download the Bose Connect app, because the Bose Connect app is what's going to help you do that. So you download it from the iOS, the App Store, or the Google Play Store, and then you just go through this process. I agree. I don't want to do this because I don't need that. I don't want to. Why? No, I don't want to do that. Oh my God. No. Grant location access. Fine. Only while using the app. Fine. So you do that. Now you open it up. Once again, it is in pairing mode. Don't see your product? Oh. Hey. Go away. Ah. Bose Free Soundsport. There you go. Drag to connect. Connecting. Oh. Big vibe. We're vibing here. Take both buds out of the case. Cool. You may need to place both buds into pairing mode. No, I don't wanna. Left and right. Interesting look. Yes, pair. Allow access to contacts. Fine. Jesus. Yeah, and then you go. Oh my God. Please. Nickname it. Fine, let's just go as per my friend's request. Cool, insert the earbud and twist back under the ear ridge. Fine. And now we're updating. Turn to push notifications. No, I don't want that. Honestly, you go through way too many hoops to get this thing going. And then, preparing a product update, because that's most likely why they require you to get the app, so that you can update to the nearest version, the most updated version of these earbuds, and try to squeeze out and eliminate any issues, any bugs that it might have had upon release. And then now that you've got them, well, you can get rid of them easily. So it's going to ask you to do that product update. But apparently they work. Do they work? Yeah, I can hear them. They definitely, they're doing their thing. They're working. So iOS should be equally as complicated as that. Definitely not a simple process of just pair. So unfortunately, there's that. Now let's go ahead and jump into one of the most important factors about a truly wireless earphone. And here's the thing. The tech inside could be awesome, modern, and reliable. But if the sound quality is garbage, who cares? You're not even going to want to put them on. So let's talk about the sound. Bass, generally speaking, is on the thick side of things. It's a little meaty, just a little meaty. Well, little meaty, little more meaty than a little meaty, but it's not too meaty. I need to stop saying meaty. The mid bass is on the forward side, but it's not too thick, if I'm being honest. I'll give you an example. The Hammer by Death Clock. The notes that are being played in the forefront, which I can't remember if they're like guitar or if it's bass or if it's both, but a very prominent note down in the lower regions of the track, and you'll know which one it is because you'll be able to hear it. They sound meaty, as they normally do, but not ridiculously overdone. So yeah, I mean, this track was sort of mastered in a way, or mixed in a way that sounds a little meaty on that particular note. And so that's the natural way of sounding for that track. If it sounds a little too meaty, just a little too meaty, that is natural. You're hearing, if it sounds a little too meaty, you're hearing a completely natural response. So these sound a little more than a little too meaty, meaning that it's a little more meaty than usual. I really need to stop saying meaty. Jesus. Am I just hungry or something? What the heck, dude? Okay, now another example. Zealots of Stockholm. Let's get to that bass note at 126. The bass note is definitely pushed forward and has some meat to it, but it's not enough to distort the sound or to make that bass note any less quality than it should be, thankfully. Sub-bass extension is actually quite good. It extends decently, and bass emphasis helps it remain audible for a longer period of time. So very good job there, you know? It's sure they might have had to rely on a bit of forwardness to achieve that, but ultimately it's not that much forward. It's a little sacrifice for a big gain. So good job on them. Now another part of Zealots of Stockholm, 306. The bass note remains audible for a good 70 to 80% of the valley. So I think that's pretty passable, especially considering these are wireless, you know? And a product from 2016, no less. Another example, and I haven't brought this one up very often. Which Image by Ghost. The entire low end of the track does have that wooliness applied to it. It's not the most tight of bass responses. It definitely has a bit of wooliness applied to it. That bass guitar does have some decent definition to it, however. So generally speaking, the bass I would describe as forward and thick, but not overbearing, thankfully. The mids on these, the female vocals are slightly forward, if anything at all. Honestly, just slightly forward. They have some good texture and definition to them, but nothing that I would say exceptional in any way. Just not disappointing. Now we approach the 231 cello solo in Dream On by Postmodern Jukebox, their cover of Aerosmith's track. The cello is quite discernible and honestly surprisingly detailed for what should have been, you know, a somewhat meaty timbre to the response. Titanium, Postmodern Jukebox cover. The male vocals are, honestly they're meh. They weren't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but they definitely weren't impressive either. I mean, like, Von Smith is discernible, but not very forward and not very detailed either. It's like passable, I guess, you know? Critical listening, question mark, but for something that's meant as more of a workout bud, honestly, it's passable. I can't complain too much about that response right there. So generally speaking, the mids are slightly laid back, I think, but they still have some great detail, especially for, you know, the item that you're talking about here. So for the treble response, it's on the darker side of things. There's really not much to say here, honestly. It's not neutral, definitely slightly darker. And I wouldn't say it's like absolutely peak free, but because of that dark-ish response, the peaks are really not bad at all. Like, it's just, as opposed to being a peak, it's more like a return of the treble. Decent response with practically no peaks, and it seems like the response becomes somewhat of an uphill climb before the roll off. But it is still on the darker side of things, like I said. Now here we go. Soundstage and imaging. Soundstage is, honestly, it is quite wide for a Bluetooth truly wireless headphone from 2016. The Soundstage is actually wide. And I want to say it's probably due to their design. The fact that if this was any closer to you, I feel like that width where the sound was coming from wouldn't have been as great. Now, I don't know if the driver is located like right here or if it's located closer to the back over here where all the other electronics are. But I mean, the sound, these things will actually impress you a bit with their soundstage. They're much wider than you'd think they'd be. So good job on that. And the imaging is just a little impressive. It's hindered by the very nature of the beast. The fact that, it's not huge. Like, it's not exactly a huge audiophile headphone. They're not exactly, these aren't Odysseys, LCDs or anything, but it's still quite impressive, They're hindered. They're still better than most truly wireless headphones out there. I mean, honestly, these aren't bad. They're not bad at all. Overall, look, on paper, the tech of this product is starting to become a bit outdated, if we're being completely honest. It came out in 2016, which means that it should be behind the competition by, 4 years, maybe 3 years, considering some of these came out in 2019. I mean, it's competition. Its performance, however, really, really does compete with others. These things might just be ahead of their time. Not that ahead of their time, but just very good performers. And, if you bought these in 2016 and you think you're really missing out on workout buds, I don't think you are, man. I think these are great to keep until they, at least another 2-3 years, if I'm being completely honest, The battery life is not as great as the competition. Typically, you see truly wireless headphones being like 24-hour battery lives, 30, in some cases like 30-hour battery lives, 18-hour battery lives. But an overall total of 15 hours with these, honestly, I mean, I could see, if you use these purely for workouts, I can see you recharging these with the case, of course, probably like once every 2 weeks or so. It's not going to be the absolute best, but it's something. I mean, it's something. It's all right. It definitely has a unique design. So it could be one of the best choices for you depending on your fit. Do keep in mind, though, you will look like Shrek. I mean, you could be walking down the street with these and you just hear All-Star playing and you realize that, oh wait, it's not the earphones themselves. I'm not playing All-Star through my phone. Someone's actually singing it to me, making fun of me. Cool. Joke's on you. I actually like All-Star, okay? So as a critical listening on-the-go device, you can get used to it. They're not absolutely terrible, but I've heard better, honestly. As a workout bud, however, oh yes. These are great for workouts right here. They're awesome. They really are. During workouts, I found the frequency response to equalize a bit due to the environment and because of your movements while on the go. Bass sounds leaner and the treble sounds easier to listen to. So it allows you to go up that one extra level to pump up the sound and get you really motivated for your workout without feeling like the treble's just gonna destroy your ears or the bass is gonna kill you. That slight meatiness really, it really compensates for the loss of bass that you experience when you go outside. And even though it's still on the more lean side of things when listening to the bass outside and running around, it's still present and it doesn't leave you wanting more specific, in particular. So I really like these. I really like these for workouts. And as a critical listening bud, look, if you forgot your main buds at home or your headphones at home and you have to listen to these all day, it's not going to be the worst thing, honestly. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it, and you won't feel like, oh, they sound terrible. No, they're actually going to be a very interesting product. Now, these used to go for $200, but I got these for $150, and I think they're at $150 right now. At $150, the sound quality is all right. The frequency response, one of my favorites in a workout headphone. And as an overall package between sound, tech, usability, and everything else, I think these are one of the better workout buds on the market. I really like them. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay on the channel for more truly wireless headphones. Again, it's not going to be all about truly wireless, but I do have a couple others that I'm going to review, and I'm going to make comparisons, and I'm going to make a video best for workouts versus best for sound quality and that kind of thing. So keep an eye out for that. And also keep an eye out for the return of audiophile products. So main things on my horizon right now would be like getting the Staxel 300s, which I already have. So just reviewing those. I'd like to get the entire Hi-Fiman lineup, or the majority of it at least. Like, let's say like Sundara's, Aruna, goddamn it. Arandano, Jesus, what are they called? Anandas, there you go. And the Arias, and at least compare the three of those and tell you, well, listen, if you get this one, you're paying this much more, but you're getting this much more, and yada yada. So those are the main things in my horizon right now. So go ahead and stay tuned for that. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget the Patreon down below. And thank you for watching. Hope this helps.